everyone, it's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. It is Friday morning, as always, a coffee kind of morning. Day off today, so get a couple of videos in. I want to continue my VCLT review. I've had some great VCLT from some wonderful people, and especially my good friend Aaron with Allan. He was so gracious in sending so many great albums, just remarkable. And he knew and knows what I like, what I'm into, and he knew I liked this artist band. These guys are amazing, and this main player in this one is amazing. It's the Alan Parsons Project. This is their first album. This is Tales of Mystery and Imagination, Edgar Allan Poe. What an experience. This is on the Casablanca label. And of course, Aaron doesn't send anything if it's not in the MoFi sleeve. I don't care that there's stickers on this. You know, it doesn't take away from the sound of the album and the amazement of the album. And yeah, I'm really happy to have this, and everything that Aaron has sent me has been remarkable. So the Alan Parsons Project, great band. I'm not comparing them to Steely Dan in no way, shape, or form, but I feel that their catalog is like a Steely Dan catalog. It's unique. No one sounds like them. They are remarkable artists in their own right, and they have a ton of studio musicians that play along with them, nothing but the best. And of course, Alan Parsons is a great engineer in his own right. So again, I'm not comparing them to Steely Dan. I'm just comparing the quality of their music, like a Steely Dan type of band, who two main players and a ton of great musicians to go along with the ride. So the Tales of Mystery and Imagination, Edgar Allan Poe. First off, you've got Edgar Allan Poe, which is probably one of the best writers ever, and then Alan Parsons and his partner Eric Wolfson putting it to music. So these guys were formed around 1975 and were in existence till about 1990. Alan Parsons, of course, and Eric Wolfson, his partner, Wolfson, Wolfson, an amazing artist in his own right. So they're a combination of progressive rock, art rock, pop, and just straight ahead rock. Again, using a ton of studio musicians, some constantly or continuously. Scottish guitarist Ian Parson is one that they've constantly used. Bassist David Patton, and drummer Stuart Elliott. Everyone else, like just on this album alone, there's a ton of bands on here and artists, because they've combined two bands that Alan Parsons was working with to go on this album. I'll explain that in just a sec. So during their 15-year career, they've released 11 studio albums. They've had some awesome songs like The Raven, which is on this album here. The Raven's an amazing song. I Wouldn't Want to Be With You, Games People Play, Eye in the Sky. Just hit after hit after hit. Before they started, Alan Parsons was an assistant engineer, and he worked on in the Abbey Road studio. He worked on the album Abbey Road, Let It Be, and also engineered Dark Side of the Moon. So he's no slouch of an engineer. Eric Wolfson, his partner, Was a songwriter and composer, and he was actually working on composing this Edgar Allan album, or the concept of it, not necessarily this particular album, but he was working on and composing this. So they met at the canteen at the Abbey Road Studios, and they started up a friendship, and they started up a business relationship. Eric Wolfson went on to manage Parsons, and he produced and engineered bands like Pilot and Al Stewart, Ambrosia, the Hollies, to name just a few. Also, the two discovered that they had a musical talent together, and they put it all together and created this first gem of an album. And it is remarkable. I was just listening to it before I started this, and it takes you on a journey. You just can't listen to one song. Again, like Steely Dan, even though they have their hits, it's an adventure every time you listen to the album. Again, no comparison, just similarities. Yeah. 1976 release, which included artists from all the band members from Pilot, and also all the band members from Ambrosia played on this album as well. So again, great studio musicians, because I've got some Ambrosia albums, and they're amazing. It was a great success, reaching number 40 in the Billboard's 200. There's also an alternate cover. This is, I think this is might be the U.S. version of the cover, but I'll show you the other cover when I release the video here. It's considered and included in the top 50 albums that built progressive rock, and that was put out by Classic Rock magazine. So imagine being in that group of musicians that built the genre of progressive rock, Alan Parsons. They've taken the works of one of the great writers, as I said earlier, in Edgar Allan Poe, and made it their own, put their own feel to the album, and in homage to the writer, but also in just an experience of an album. So again, Aaron, thank you so much for this album. It was remarkable. He knew I liked it because I do have some other albums by Alan Parsons. Project 1978 Pyramid, and this is a wonderful album. It's a concept album about pyramids in Giza, and it was released around the time that pyramid power was popular. Tutankhamun was popular. The discovery of Tutankhamun and all the showings at the museum and stuff. So they built an album around that concept of pyramids, which is cool. 1979's Eve, another great album, fourth studio album by the band. Another concept album, this time focusing on women and the struggles they've had in the world of men. Well, so it was pretty powerful for Alan Parsons to do something like that, and I respect him for doing that, because women shouldn't suffer. I mean, they're an amazing group on their own, and this world wouldn't be what it is without women. So for those of I know none of us out there think that, but for those idiots out there that think that women are second class, just leave. But so it was cool for Alan Parsons Project to do a concept album about women, even though it was about the struggles of women. It supported and it supports women's roles in the world. Also the first to feature lead singer Chris Rainbow, who does a great job. 1980s Turn of a Friendly Card. Another concept album. Big on concept albums, this band. It's around the effects of gambling and gambling addiction. Featuring the great song Games People Play. I love that song. But yeah, it's about gambling. And the only other one I have is Vulture Culture. I really like this album. And it did well in UK, it did well in Germany, Switzerland, Netherlands. Hit #1 in some of those countries. But it didn't fare very well in the States for some reason. I'm not sure. It was originally intended to be a second side off a double album, including their previous album before this, Ammonia Avenue, which I don't have yet. So Ammonia Avenue would be the first side. Vulture Culture would be the second side, but they decided to make 2 separate albums. It's their 7th studio album by the band, and again, I find it's a great album. Sounds good, and I'm not sure why it didn't hit as big in the States. It just didn't. I think it didn't even quite make the top 20, maybe the top 40, but for some reason, big hit in Germany and Switzerland and those countries. So that was kind of cool. So thank you again, Aaron, for this. If you guys don't know Alan Parsons, definitely check him out. I'm sure you guys do. The Alan Parsons Project. Everyone's pretty knowledgeable on this wonderful world of the vinyl community. But thank you, Aaron Muth Alamar, for sending me another amazing album to add to my growing collection of this great band. And again, no comparison whatsoever to Steely Dan, other than the 2 great people coming together and adding a bunch of great studio musicians. I think that's a great combination, because the 2 bands don't sound alike whatsoever, but 2 amazing bands just the same. Anyway, guys, have yourself a wonderful day. I may be back a little later on with my Albums to Discover series. Yeah, enjoy. Looks like a nice sunny day out there. Take care. Bye now.